Hello friends, in today's session, in today's video, we are going to cover all the remaining topics related to Applet class. Okay, so we were viewing about the sample output, that is rotating scrolling banner from left to right. Okay, so we will explain this now. We will see how Applet operates. First, you have to notice that simple banner extend Applet, but it also implement runnable because it is a separate thread. Okay, it itself is a thread, as I have explained in the previous session. This is necessary because the applet will be creating a second thread of execution that will be used to scroll the banner. Okay, so if the first class is not a thread, it will not be able to create a second thread. Okay, so if it want to create a second thread, it has to be itself a thread. So it is implementing the runnable interface. Inside init, the foreground background colors are set. After initialization, runtime system calls start to start the applet. After start, a new thread of execution is created, like t is equal to new thread and assigned to thread variable t. Then boolean variable stop flag is initialized to false, and next the thread is started to by using t.start. T.start calls a method defined by thread which calls the run, causes run to begin execution. Okay. T.start calls a method defined by thread which causes run to begin execution. It does not cause a call to the version of start defined by applet. So that two separate methods. T.start calls method defined by thread class, and it causes run so that the execution will be begin. So it is not starting the applet by start method because this class is implementing runnable interface. So it is not calling the start to start execution. It is calling the thread method run so that t.start will start the run method of thread class. Okay. So what is the difference? Start is available in applet also and thread also, but it is calling the start of the runnable interface, that is thread. So these are two separate methods. Inside run, characters in the string content are repeatedly rotated to left side, which when each rotation repent is called automatically. This eventually causes the paint method to be called, and that paint method, in that paint method, the message contents are displayed. Okay, between each iteration runs with for the quarter of the second because it is a 2500 millisecond. Sorry, 250 millisecond, that is quarter of a second. Okay. The net effect of run, that contents of message right to left in a constantly moving display, and that's why we have created a second thread. Stop flag variable is checked on each iteration. If it is true, then iteration will stop. When it is true, run method terminates. If a browser displaying the applet when a new page is viewed, stop method is called. Okay, we said that the stop flag to true, causing run to terminate. Okay. This is the mechanism used to stop the thread when page is no longer in view, so that a thread will be called thread will be stopped automatically. When the applet is brought back into view, start will call again, and we start a new thread to execute a banner once again. Okay, so it is a just game of start and stop. Now next is using the status window. In addition to display the information, the applet can also output a message into the status window of the browser or applet viewer on which it is running. Okay, so to show the status, you have to call the show status with the string that you want to display. Okay, status window is a good place to give the user feedback about what is occurring in the applet, suggest option, or possibly report some type of error. So it is dependent upon you what you want to display in show status method. The status window also makes an excellent debugging aid because it gives you an easy way to output information about your applet. So what is the current state? Current status of applet. Okay, like what is occurring in the applet. what should be suggested, and some types of errors are displayed in the status. So it is a excellent form of debugging aid. Okay. So now show status method we will see. Applet code is status window. This code is same as the class name. You have to notice it. This name is equal to class name which extends the applet. Init background color set to cyan. Okay. Then paint called. Paint is defined over here. This is the applet window 1020. Show status. This is shown in status window. Okay. So this is the status window. I have already explained you. It is the state of applet. Applet running, applet stop, applet started, everything it is a state. Okay. So state is by default displayed. If you want to override this method, you can override this like this and call the show status so that your status will be updated by your stream. Okay. HTML applet tag. Sun currently recommends that applet tag is to start an applet from both HTML document and from applet viewer. Okay. Applet tag should be used. Okay. The applet viewer will execute each applet tag that it finds in a separate window, while web browser will allow many applets on a single page. So there is a difference when you will use the applet viewer. Each applet tag will be shown in a separate window when you will use the applet viewer to run applet, while other web browsers will allow many applets on a single page. We have been only using the simplified form of applet tag. Now we will see in detail. The syntax or full form of the applet tag we will see now. This is the code base URL, code applet file, actual applet file, alternate text, name, applet instance name, width height in pixels, align in alignment, v space pixel, h space pixels, parameter name, attribute name, value attribute name, parameter name, attribute name, value attribute name, and HTML displayed in the absence of Java. Okay, and applet tag is closed. Now we will see the each part in detail. First is code base. What is code base? We have written it like this. In applet tag, code base is equal to code base URL. It's an optional attribute that specifies the base URL of the applet code, which is the directory that will be searched for the applet's executable class file. Okay. So this class file will be specified by the code tag. So what is the code base? It is optional. It is not compulsory. First of all. Second, it specifies the base URL of the applet code, which is the directory that will be searched for the applet's executable class file. So what is important to run this particular applet? Whatever is important in that particular directory, that directory will be searched. Okay. Then HTML documents URL directory is used as the code base if that attribute is not specified. So by default value is the HTML documents URL directory. Okay. So code base does not have to be on the host from which the HTML was read. So it is not compulsory for the code base or the necessary files to be on the PC from which the HTML document was read. Okay, it is not compulsory for it. Actual code is a required attribute that gives the name of the file that contains your applet compiled class.class file. Okay, so it is compulsory that will show you the applet output. This file is relative to the code base URL, which is the directory that the HTML file was in or directory indicated by code base if set. Okay, so this file is directly related to your code base URL. Okay, so code base URL is a directory that is the HTML file was in or the directory indicated by code base. Okay, first is the directory that the HTML file was residing in, otherwise the URL of the directory. Third is alternate tag. The optional attribute used to specify a short text message that should be displayed. Okay, if the browser recognizes the applet tag but can't currently run Java applet. Okay, whatever browser you are using like Chrome or Mozilla, if it recognizes the applet tag but can't currently run Java applet, so alternate text will be displayed. Okay, and it is the alternate text provided by you. Okay, So it is not compulsory. It's the optional attribute. This is distinct from the alternate HTML you provide for browser that don't support applet. Alternate HTML files tag is different and alternate text is different. So if there is a browser not support applet, if the browser is not supporting applet and you are providing the alternate HTML file, the applet cannot be displayed. That it is different from this. Alt is only a string message that will tell that this browser does not support applet, Java applet. Okay. Name is an optional attribute used to specify name for the applet instance. You can specify particular name. Applet must be named in order for the other applets on the same page to find them by name and communicate with them. Okay, so they should be identified. They will be easy to find out. To obtain the applet by name, use get applet, which is defined by the applet context interface. Okay, so get applet will tell us or give us the applet object with a particular name, and which is this method get applet is defined by applet context interface. Width and height are required attributes that give the size in pixels of the applet display area. So you will specify the width and height, and it is compulsory. Align is an optional attribute that specifies the alignment of the applet. Okay, left, center, or right. This attribute is treated the same as HTML image tag with these possible values. Okay. So align can be left, align can be right, top, bottom, middle, baseline, text top as absolute middle and absolute bottom. So you can specify any alignment as you wish. Okay. Seems to be very interesting, right? Applet is very interesting topic. V space and H space, horizontal and vertical space. This is also optional. It specifies the space in pixels above and below the applet. Okay. Vertical space specifies the space in pixels above and below the applet. A space specifies the space in pixels on each side of the applet. Okay, left and right side. Okay, they are treated the same as image tag, vspace and hspace attribute. Next is name and value. The param tag allows you to specify applet specific argument in an HTML page. Applet access their attribute with the get parameter method. Okay. So what is param tag? It allows you to specify applet specific arguments or parameters in an HTML page. And applet attributes, how we can get an applet attribute using the get parameter method. Other valid applet attribute include archive, which lets you specify one or more archive files. Object, which specifies saved version of the applet. Okay. Archive is for one or more archive files. Object is for saved version of the applet. Applet tag should include only a code or an object attribute. Okay, either code or object, but not both. So code, either code or object, but not both. Okay. Now passing parameter to applet. As just discussed, we have right now the applet tag in HTML allows you to pass parameters to your applet. Okay, so to retrieve a parameter, use get parameter method. It returns the value of the specified parameter in the form of a string object. Okay, so whatever parameter you will specify, you will get its value using get parameter. Thus, for numeric and boolean value, you will need to convert the string representation to their internal format using casting. Okay. Okay, applet code param demo, width, height, param name, font name, value clear. Parameter name, font size, value 14, parameter name, reading value true, parameter name, account enabled, value true, and applet. Okay, font name, font size, reading, and active. Start string parameter, font name, get parameter, font name. If it is null, not found. Otherwise, get parameter, font size, and save it into parameter. Okay, if parameter not equal to null, font size equal to integer dot passive parameter, else font size equal to 0, and error font size equal to -1. Parameter is equal to get parameter leading. If it is not equal to null, it should be converted to float dot float value of param dot float value, else leading is equal to 0, catch leading is equal to -1. Account enabled, count enable is a boolean, so you have to convert it into boolean format. And then in paint method, we are in start we are getting those parameters, and in paint we are drawing those strings. Okay, g dot drawn string, font name, font size, reading, account, active. Okay, this is the output of the parameters we have got, and we have casted in a particular type. Okay, you should test the return values from get parameter. If a parameter is not available, it will return you null, and also converges will be casted with a particular type. If it otherwise, it will give you number format exception. Uncaught exception should never occur. You should be careful about it. Okay, improving the banner applet. It is possible to use a parameter to enhance the banner applet shown earlier. Message being stored was hard-coded into the applet. However, passing the message as a parameter allows the banner applet to display different message each time it is executed. So in this example, we will see not a hard-coded message, but it is a different message each time it is executed. Improved version we will see now. Applet tag at the top of the file now specifies parameter called message that is linked to a muted string. Okay, message value Java makes the web move, and applet code is param banner with 300 height 50, and this is the param banner class name extends applet implements runnable. Same example is there, only string is not hard coded over here. All other string are same. Okay, state stop flag state is equal to null. It all are created. Then get parameter message. Then message is equal to null. Message not found. Otherwise, message will be appended as a message. Then new thread is created, and start will start the thread. And in the run display banner, every time repent will be repent is called, so that it will call the paint method. Thread will sleep for 250, a quarter of a second. Character is equal to message dot character at 0, and from 1 it is a Java makes the wave move the message. It will be displayed one by one and appended over here. If stop flag is equal to true, then break, then stop. If it is stopped if the applet goes in background, it will be stopped, and stop flag will be true, and t is equal to null. Okay, so thread will be stopped over there. Then paint, in the paint we are displaying the string. So every time when we are passing this parameter, this is message, every time we pass the separate message, every time it will show you the separate message scrolling around. Okay, next is get document based and get code based. You will create applet that will need to explicitly load media and text. Okay, Java will allow the applet to load data from first the directory holding HTML file that started the applet, and second directory from which the applet's class file was loaded. Okay, so document base is the directory holding the document base is the directory that holds the HTML file that starts the applet. Okay, so it is a file that it is the directory in which the HTML file currently residing in, and the code base is a directory from which the applet class file was loaded. Actual .class file was loaded. These directories are written as URL objects described in the chapter 20 by get document base and get code base. Okay, they can be concatenated with a string that names the file we want to load. Okay, so those URL objects you can combine with the string that names the file you want to load. To actually load another file, you will use the show document method defined by the applet context interface discussed in the next section. Okay, to actually load the another file in that particular directory, you will use the show document, as we have seen further. The following applet you will see those illustrate this method. Import AWT, applet and .NET. Applet code is basis with 300 height 50. Class basis extends applet. Public void main graphics object is passed. Message string is created. Get code base URL. Okay. So code base message, code base plus code base is URL is appended, and draw string code base URL is displayed. Then URL is equal to get document base. Get document base is get, and message is equal to document base URL to string. Okay. G dot draw string message 1040. So code base is this Java, file Java, and document basis file at Java basis.java. This contains the dot class representation of applet, and this is the state of applet. Applet start. Okay. Applet context and show document. One application of Java is to use active images and animations to provide graphical means of navigating the web. That is more interesting than simple text-based links. Okay. When we are using images and animation, your URL or your links will be more interactive and more interesting. Okay. To allow your applet to transfer control to another URL, you must use the show document that we have seen in the previous PPT, that we will explain the show document method. It will show the document that is from the directory that you are actually residing in, another document from the directory. Okay. And it is defined by the applet context interface. Applet context is an interface that lets you get information from the applet's execution environment, like any directory that you are residing in. The methods defined by applet context are shown in table upcoming. The context of the currently executing applet is obtained by call to the get of applet context method defined by applet. Okay. So it will give you the current applet context. Within an applet, once you have obtained the applet context, you can bring another document into this by calling show document. So what you have to do to show the another document in the current directory, first you have to get the applet context, and using that applet context, you will call the show document method passing its URL, so that that document will be shown. This method has no return value and throws no exception if this fails. So if it use it carefully. Okay. So you should be very careful passing the URL to show document. There are two show document methods. Show document URL displays show document at the specified URL. The method show document URL string displays the specified document at the specified location. Okay, within the browser window. Okay. Valid arguments for where are self showing current frame, parent showing parent frame, top showing topmost frame, and blank showing new browser window. So you have to remember these arguments to pass. You can also specify a name which causes the document to be shown in the new browser window by that particular name. So following example demonstrate the applet context and show document. Upon execution, it obtains the current applet context and uses that context to transfer control to another file called test.html. This file must be in the same directory as the applet because it is a code base. It is a document base. Test.html can contain any valid hypertext that you like. Anything, but it should be HTML tag only. AWT-applet.net are imported over here. ACDemo is the class name that extends applet. In the start method, applet context is get. Then get code base will give you the URL. It will give you the URL of the particular applet. And ac.show document new URL plus test.html. It should be in the same directory. And show if it is malform URL exception is for show status URL not found in applet. So now we will see the method defined by applet context interface. Applet get of applet string applet name returns the applet specified by applet name if it is within the current applet context. Otherwise, null is written. Okay. It will return the applet. Enumeration get applets returns the enumeration that contains all of the applet within the current applet context. So you will enumerate it within the enumeration as an enumeration object. Audio clip get audio clip URL returns an audio clip object that encapsulates the audio clip found at the location specified by the URL. Image get image URL returns an image object that encapsulates the image found at the location specified by URL. In input stream get stream, string key returns the stream linked to key. Keys are linked to stream by using the get stream method. Okay. A null reference is returned if no stream is linked to key. Returns the stream linked to particular key. And keys, how we are linking the keys using setStream method. Null is returned if no stream is linked to particular key. Then iterators get string keys returns an iterator for the keys associated with the invoking object. The keys are linked to stream. See get stream and setStream method. Then setStream string key input stream links the stream specified by stream to the key passed in a key. The key is deleted from the invoking object if stream is null. Show document URL brings the document at the specified by URL into view. This method may not be supported by Applet viewers. Okay, so it will show the document. Void show document URL and string where. Then brings the document at the URL specified by URL into view. This method may not be supported by Applet viewers. The placement of the document is specified by where as described in the text. Okay, void show status string display string in the status window. Next is audio clip interface. Audio clip interface defines these methods. Play clip from beginning, stop playing the clip, and play the loop continuously. After you have located an audio clip using get audio clip, you can use these methods and play it. Okay, so to play you have to use play. To stop you will use for stop, and loop to play the loop continuously. Firstly you have to get audio clip and then use these methods. Next, Applet stub interface. Applet stub interface provides the means by which Applet and the browser, that is a connection between Applet and browser or Applet viewer, communicate. Your code will not typically implement this interface. Outputting to the console. Although we have to output to the particular GUI based method, okay, it will be not outputted to the console. It is still possible. Okay. Although output to the Applet window must be accomplished through a GUI based method such as drawstring, it is still possible to use console output in your applet, especially for debugging purposes. In an applet, when you call a method such as system.out.println, output is not sent to your applet window. It will be not shown in the foreground. It will appear either in the console session in which you have launched the applet viewer or in the Java console that is available in some browsers. Use of console output for the purposes other than debugging is discouraged. Okay. So if you want to debug what is the error and where is the error, then only use the system.out.println in your applet. Otherwise, you should not use it because it violates the design principles of the graphical interface most users will expect. Okay. So this way we have finished completely our applet class chapter. In the next session, I will explain you the practical part and then we will move to the next chapter. So till then, if you have not understood any topic, go at the start, go to the first session and again revise the things. Enjoy the applet. It is very interesting topic. If you want to explore it more, you can explore it, you can practice it more. And no need to remember, because when you will practice more, it will be remembered automatically. So meet you in the next session with the practical examples. Thank you so much.